Da 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 da. Who doesn't love this theme song? And the series is even better. But you probably know Game of Thrones already anyway. So I'm not here to tell you how great this show is, but to take a closer look at how women are portrayed in this show. In case you don't want to be spoiled for seasons 1 to 5, you should not yet watch this video, but finish the first 5 seasons before coming back to this piece. Still here? Okay, so let's get down to the image of women in Game of Thrones. As I hinted earlier, I analyzed the first 5 seasons of the TV show, not the original books by George R.R. Martin. It is also important to know that I only looked at 4 specific characters, namely Cersei Lannister, Daenerys Targaryen, Brienne of Tarth and Shae. These restrictions were necessary because this video would otherwise be about half an hour long, and none of you would really want that. Instead, I focused on these characters because they come from different social backgrounds, so that I hope to be able to generalize from what I found out about them. So let's start with Shae. She is a prostitute and starts a relationship with Tyrion Lannister during a battle. Although her profession suggests that she comes from a less privileged family, she denies being lowborn when playing a drinking game with Tyrion Lannister and Bronn during the battle. If we can assume that she is reliable and trustworthy, and I personally believe that she is, we must then acknowledge that she comes from a privileged family. But then it seems somehow odd that she is a prostitute, doesn't it? Because if she was highborn, it would be extremely unusual for her to work in this field, since you would assume that her parents had enough money without Shae working as a prostitute. Another factor that doesn't comply with her being highborn is that she cannot curtsy properly, which is of course out of the common for someone from a noble family. But of course there is much more to say about Shae than that she is a whore, as she repeatedly refers to herself. She also seems to be quite clever and stands in for her friends and people she loves. For instance, when Sansa Stark has her first period. Sansa is forced to live in King's Landing, and is to marry King Joffrey as soon as she is ready to bear his children. So when Sansa's bed is full of blood one day, Shae helps her conceal it because she knows what is dreading Sansa if Joffrey or his mother Cersei Lannister find out about the incidents. Unfortunately, a guard sees what they are doing and tells Cersei, so that Shae's efforts were in vain, but that does not curtail her goodwill. Shae is also deeply in love with Tyrion, which breaks with the stereotype of prostitutes being heartless and not able to have real relationships. This is shown when Tyrion is badly wounded in a fight, and she asks him to flee with her and start a new life. Shae is also very jealous when she finds out that her beloved Tyrion and her friend Sansa are being forced to marry each other, and is afraid of Tyrion being attracted to Sansa. Despite this, she prizes love over money when she refuses to take diamonds from Varys to leave the city with a ship for her own safety, because Tyrion and Sansa still mean too much to her. But this love doesn't last on Shae's side. After Tyrion breaks up with her because their relationship poses a threat to both of them, he and Sansa are accused of having poisoned King Joffrey, and during Tyrion's trial, Shae states that Tyrion forced her to become his whore, and also that she witnessed him and Sansa planning the attack on Joffrey, which is of course not true. Also important to mention is that Shae attempted to kill Tyrion herself after he was sentenced to death, but escaped with the help of his brother Jaime and found Shae in his father's bed. Realizing that Shae is trying to kill him with a knife, Tyrion then takes Shae's life by strangling her. Keeping all this in mind, I think that Shae remains a very mysterious character, because it is never revealed where she actually comes from and how she became a prostitute. But she is also portrayed as very clever and passionate, especially when it comes to Tyrion.
Created using PowToon.